Did you know that Iran and the US were once allies? Today, decades of tension have turned that relationship upside down. Stay till the end, because number last will shock you. Early friendship and the 1953 coup. In the 1950s, Iran was one of America's closest allies in the Middle East. Under Shah Pahlavi, Iran stood firm against Soviet influence. The US even helped build Iran's first nuclear reactor, part of Eisenhower's Atoms for Peace. But in 1953, everything changed. The CIA orchestrated a coup to remove Prime Minister Mossadegh. Why? Because he nationalized Iran's oil industry. The US saw it as a threat to Western oil interests. But to Iranians, it felt like a betrayal, a robbery of their democracy and sovereignty. Fun fact, the 1953 coup is still taught in the Iranian schools today. It's a core reason many Iranians mistrust the US. 1979 Islamic Revolution and hostage crisis. Fast forward to 1979. Iranians overthrew the Shah and created an Islamic Republic. Anger boiled over. Revolutionary students stormed the US Embassy. They took 52 Americans hostage for 444 days. The US became the Great Satan in Iran's national story. Death to America became a regular chant, often misunderstood but symbolic. Fun fact, the slogan targets US policies, not the American people. Still, this crisis ended any hopes of renewing the friendship. Proxy wars and regional rivalries. In the 1980s and 90s, the US and Iran fought through proxies. Iran backed Hezbollah in Lebanon. The US backed Iraq during the Iran-Iraq War. Later, the US supported Israel in conflicts where Iran opposed them. One deadly moment? The 1983 bombing of the US Embassy in Beirut. The US blamed Iran-backed groups. Fun fact, Iran's Revolutionary Guard created Hezbollah to expand influence after 1982. This proxy warfare kept hostility alive, even without direct fighting. Axis of evil and sanctions era. In 2002, President Bush called Iran part of the axis of evil. That statement changed everything. In 2018, the US withdrew from the nuclear deal and imposed severe sanctions on Iran. Tensions exploded again in 2020. A US drone strike killed General Qasem Soleimani. Iran ramped up uranium enrichment. Western leaders feared Iran was inching toward a nuclear bomb. Fun fact, isolation turned Iran into a global leader in nuclear science publishing. Nuclear standoff in 2025. Now in 2025, talks are back, held in Oman and Rome. The US wants Iran to stop all uranium enrichment. Iran says, we have a legal right under the NPT. Iran's latest counter-proposal? Full sanctions relief and real economic access. But the IE just accused Iran of hiding nuclear material. Fun fact, Russia claims Iran's 60% uranium isn't a weapons risk, but not everyone's convinced. It's a tense diplomatic chess match, national pride versus global pressure, regional tensions and military muscle. Even during talks, Iran is showing off its firepower. In May 2025, it revealed the Qasim Basir missile. Range? 1,200 kilometers. Designed to dodge air defenses and strike US bases. Military leaders are inspecting sites, prepping for conflict. Fun fact, Iran is expanding its missile arsenal even while negotiating. That's Tehran's dual-track strategy, diplomacy and deterrence. Flashpoint, Israel-Iran war risk. June 2025, everything ignites. Israel bombs Iran's nuclear sites, calling it Operation Rising Lion. Iran responds fast. 150 ballistic missiles. 100 drones. Targeting Israeli military assets. Iran blames the US for backing the attack, calling America a co-participant. US and Iranian forces are now repositioning, preparing for more. Fun fact, Iran threatens US bases if attacked, yet still denies building a nuclear bomb. The bigger picture, geopolitics and sanctions. Russia and China support Iran's nuclear rights. Western sanctions still bite hard. Inflation is over 40%. Over half of Iranian households face food insecurity. But Iran isn't folding. It's working with BRICS and SCO to build new financial systems. Fun fact, Iran's R&D and science sectors are growing despite the economic pain. Poverty fuels defiance, not surrender. Why does Iran hate the U.S.? The roots run deep. 1953 coup. U.S. support for Saddam in the 80s. Sanctions that hurt civilians. Military threats near its borders. And the belief that the West tries to control Iran's future. Add all that up, and you get decades of bitterness. But it's not pure hate. It's mistrust, ideology, and the pain of lost sovereignty. Fun facts you didn't know. The U.S.-built reactor in Iran still powers medical research. Death to America is political, not personal. Iran leads Persian Gulf science publishing. Iran's parliament is now part of BRICS diplomacy. And the new Qasem Basir shows just how far Iran's tech has come. What happens next? Will we get a new nuclear deal? Only if sanctions are lifted and uranium limits agreed. If not, war, overt or covert, looms large. Internal politics will decide it. Is Trump ready to act militarily? Can Iran's moderates keep the hardliners in check? Fun fact, even as diplomats talk peace, missiles keep flying in tests. It's a fragile peace with a hair trigger. How should viewers see it? This isn't just hate, it's mistrust, trauma, geopolitics, and competing national identities. Fixing it takes more than talk. It means trust. It means economic cooperation. It means revisiting old wounds. Citizen exchanges, humanitarian ties, a new story beyond war and fear. Fun fact, many Iranians love American music, movies, and tech. The politics divide, people don't have to. Number 1 shocking takeaway. If the U.S. hadn't overthrown Mossadegh in 1953, Iran might never have turned authoritarian, might never have become anti-American. One CIA operation reshaped the entire Middle East. What do you think is the key to healing U.S.-Iran relations? Let us know in the comments, respectfully. Like if you learned something. Subscribe for more deep dives. And remember, number may first shock you, but history still shapes our future.